Did you know children learn through resonance? Resonance learning. It means something inside them directs them to that toy, that object, that color, that person, that situation, and they play with it until they find something satisfying. And then they play with something else. Now, resonance learning, it isn't based on nothing. It is based on an inner template, drawing the experience that fits to that inner template. Rote learning is what you do in school. You must learn and obey and remember like a robot. How to spell, how to do this, dates, places. Those are only facts according to whoever won the wars, remember. History all very well if you understand that only the victors wrote specific stories down. Freedom, imagination, creativity, ingenuity, innovation. Where do those feature in education? Maybe for a science prize, maybe. Our children are not allowed to understand quantum physics in all its realms. That's the other science is kept hidden from us. Our children are not allowed to spend time in experimental play after the age of 6, maybe a little bit later, maybe in the art room. Our children are instructed what is right and what is wrong in terms of knowledge and learning. Yes, please have a sense of respect for others and self, that kind of right or wrong. I'm talking about information, though. We are programmed in everything we do. But there is an alternative. Help me to help myself. That was Maria Montessori. Her entire scheme is used, strangely enough, by the so-called elite. They will send their children to the Montessori schools. Why? Because they know it encourages thought, independent thought. All of the exercises develop a sense of self-checking, independent, self-directed learning. Wonderful. Now, I've studied all types of learning, and I know how a child learns is not rote. It is not an entrainment situation. It is resonance with a field, a generous field of possibility. We call it the prepared environment, where the adults are part of that. The adults need to be brilliant. We cannot have stupid people in education. We need brilliant and open-minded brilliance with emotional intelligence. In fact, the most highly qualified beings should be the teachers. And currently, that is not how it's run. You're allowed to teach if you go through a teacher training college and learn their system of child psychology, which is very tiny and exclusive. But if you are a developed person with your own creative life and your own success in passion and following through from your soul, those are the best teachers because they lead by passionate example of excellence. Children actually want that. Different kinds of degrees of it. If you're a Virgo, you want precision. If you're a Sagittarian, you want vision, and all kinds of shades in between. But what we need to do is create entirely new schools, take down the concrete blocks with rectangular rooms and grey, grey, grey. Bring most of the education outside. It is possible to do most of our education outside. Have the right clothing, have the right shelters, get fresh air. People in nature are entirely different. Do not spend the money for a school on its car parks, its parking lots. Spend it on near natural environments with a wide diversity of natural materials. That means plants and animals and all the little creatures in between the animals. There's a lot of different sized ones. I'm a landscape architect and a teacher. I'm a creative. I've studied a lot because that's just what I am. I couldn't help it. Arts, sciences, arts singing, arts acting, arts dancing, science planning, biology, chemistry, architecture, mathematics, geometry. Children demand all of that from us. They need people with backbone and spine and passion. We need schools which echo this. Inside, outside, most of it outside. Light, curves. Do not box everyone in. Maybe it's more currently expensive to build on the curve, but actually it's much easier if you work together. Straw bale building is amazing in the right place with the right team. You can even use your students and the land, use the lie of the land, use the water, use the geomorphology, use the minerals, use the crystals, use the metals, use the vegetation and all of it as study material. Everything you need to know is out there. Give children the equipment to find out what's going on. Give them good adults who understand and will work with them. Show them what an ecosystem is in the real life. Don't take them on a field trip. Do it outside. Outside the door. Spend most of the time outside, even in miserable climates such as autumn England I'm talking about. and other colder countries. Wear the right kit, have the right shelter, bring children outside more. They'll be completely different in terms of behavior. And what else? Near natural environments, supportive adults, intelligent supportive adults with open minds and emotional intelligence, and allow the child to create their own learning structure. You work it out on a deal by deal basis with promises and consequences, but you let that child lead and let them form teams of groups. So there's overlap of integrative knowledge. This one adds to this, to this, to this, and the pool of information and knowledge becomes greater. These are all new concepts. I've talked about them a long time in my PhD, in the speaking house, when I've been working with homeschool parents. We don't need the same curriculum in homeschool. We need a completely different ethos. And eventually we need community schools with a completely different ethos. At the moment, all we can do is one by one, wake up a child to their creativity, wake up an adult to know how to support it, the soul and being of their child. So I've written books. Yes, please go and have a look at them. I'm available for one-on-one sessions, and I can also do groups of children. I will work with you, adult, parent, or with your child. I'm Dr. Isabelaimee. My passion is activating your human potential. You, your child, me, the world. We need to bring back life, creativity, and joy into our learning processes. And that way, our soul comes in. We are integrated into nature and we are nobody's pawn. We are free, sovereign beings.